Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Woo woo. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I have one of my dear friends, one of our favorites. He is an award-winning writer. Around the corner is the EGOT. Am I right, Guy?
Only if we count my Golden Globe as the G.
A lot of people don't know that after Whitney plays Roxy Hart, Whitney from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, you are the next person that is going to be playing Roxy Hart in Chicago. And so then, yeah, you'll have an Emmy and a Tony for Roxy Hart. And then the Oscar is going to be coming around the corner.
We all know how much I love my sound editing. It's, actor, comedian, sound editor is what you've always understood me as, and really focus on that for. I
love it. Guy Branum, always so funny. On a world tour with your one-man show.
But back to the Tony Awards, I just have to ask, if the offer were out there for you to be O'Mary, would you do a touring O'Mary? Would you do
O'Mary is the
Cola show
about Lincoln being gay and Mary Todd being his wife.
Have you seen it?
I have not, but I can't tell you about a night I had with my sorority sister, my big sis, Lisa. She has a beautiful place in New York. After I performed, we went to dinner. Dr. Drew and his wife, we came back to her house, and that was the first time I said, I believe Lincoln was gay. And I gave out all the facts, and Dr. Drew was like, what? And first time he'd ever heard it. So then she went to the play, and she was like, Heather, this, I don't know I wasn't the first person to say this 10 years ago, but there was overwhelming evidence 10, 15 years ago that they had, sharing a bed and, but then they were like, what, it was cold and, whatever. I have to see it because I heard it's great.
It's basically like an amazing episode of I Love Lucy. You're really gonna love it. But yes, I am taking my show Be Fruitful on tour. I am gonna be in Philadelphia on December 17th, DC on December 18th, and then in Brooklyn on December 19th. So
it's fabulous. It's funny. He sings, he dances, he does costume changes.
I do not.
You're basically Luann Lesseps. Is this cabaret?
I do not sing, and it is quite explicitly not cabaret.
I did see a costume change in your preview, though.
Yes, I mean I shouldn't have shown that.
It's a finale moment.
It's supposed to be a secret, but what is the thing that Sutton does? Not Sutton. The thing that what's her name does? That's like burlesque and cabaret.
Oh, Sonia Morgan.
Sonia, yes.
No, she does stand up now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sure she's amazing.
It's all so good. We're going to get into all of that. Okay, but first, I need to tell you what is going on since I reported last on the Diddy doc by 50 Cent. So, I was explaining a little to you yesterday. Now I'm explaining what happened. Marlon Wayans. Of the Wayans fame, white chicks, I've worked with him. My opinion, delight, okay? Anyway, he was on a podcast, radio show. Someone asked him, what do you think of this? And he basically said, I mean, the man's doing 5 years in jail. Why kick him when you're down 50? Karma's going to get you.
Yeah.
But he also, I think, said, I haven't watched it. I don't know if he said that or not, but it seemed clear he hadn't watched it. Yes.
50 Cent has been shot multiple times. Has karma already gotten him,
So true. Okay, so hold that thought because we did a book sketch, but I want to talk about that, a book club sketch with 50 back in the day.
Yes.
Okay, so he then 50 comes after him. And 50, writes, shows a photo of him as white chick and is like, keep my name out of your mouth and this and that. And then Marlon goes and does this 12 years as a slave photo of 50, photoshopped. This one in the comments was very poorly received.
Yes,
and that's
I'm sure.
And that's on Marlon's page. So those are fans of Marlon being like, this is not it.
Yes.
Like, this is not it. Why are you defending Diddy? Like, whatever. And then it keeps going back and forth. And then Fitty does a post.
Look, it's always rough to be the 7th most talented person in your family.
Listen. I've worked with them all, and you even said, wait, are you going to talk about this? Aren't you good friends? Yeah, I'm good friends with all of them. I've worked on the movie. I've had this show for more than 10 years. I've invited every single one of the Wayans brothers that I worked on White Chicks and the TV shows with over and over and over again. So, no, what? I will speak about any topic that I find interesting.
Being the 7th most talented person in that family is very impressive. They're all very good. Have you seen Damon Jr. do physical comedy? Kim's amazing. Like, they're all
great. And they're all lovely, and they have the greatest family. So this is something that all of us in this world have gotten caught up in when you could have just written Fitty and said, hey, I haven't seen the doc. I was merely answering a question. Let's stop it here. But then the other side is, by doing this, now we're talking about you.
Yes.
Marlon has stand-up gigs. This is all, there's no bad there's no bad publicity, whatever. So they keep going back. And in my opinion, the majority is on Fitty's side because they're thinking somehow he's defending P. Diddy or minimizing it. So then Fitty goes and pulls up videos and puts it on his Instagram of Marlon talking highly of P. Diddy, saying, I went to all these parties, yet I never saw any of the freaky stuff. And then he takes another clip of a movie that Marlon did that was a parody of like Haunted House, where he wakes up and it's like he was, effed in the butt or whatever. So he's acting like that.
Yes.
So they're both. Then Marlon shows a photo of Fitty and Sean Puffy Combs in a jacuzzi together, but could also look like two dads in a jacuzzi together after a golf game. They're just like sitting there, but still. So it's a little jabs at homophobia at both of them, on both sides, which Marlon has, I believe, a trans child and has spoken openly in support of gay people and as an ally. But they're both jabbing at it.
For these like Gen X or elder millennial guys, like
they're Gen X.
A little homophobia is just like part of the game when insulting each other, and I think it's hard for them to like extract themselves from that. I also think that like Kendrick Lamar like won a Pulitzer and then got to be like, he did a diss track as the Super Bowl halftime show. I think that we have really like elevated this sort of like diss tracky thing. I do have to wonder, is the documentary just about the world of hip hop trying to EGOT and trying to move out into like filmmaking so you can pick up those Emmys and Oscars? But I also think that like so many people have been able to elevate their brands off of these things, but also like, it's really like, Drake is a tarnished brand now because of how effectively like Kendrick Lamar did his thing. And I wonder about this.
And isn't it also the weird Millie Bobby Brown stuff too, that Drake was giving her advice and texting her at 12?
There's a lot of creepiness. The thing about, I would never do a documentary about I went to parties, they weren't that bad. Yeah. But like the thing is like, in the 2000s, like a lot of people were going to Brett Ratner parties where things were happening. I definitely went to some gay parties in the 2010s where, like everything was fine. And then later you found out that like directors were being creepy or whatever. But
that's why, and I've been guilty of this too.
Yes.
That is why you might have something interesting to say or a joke or whatever, like Marlon did. And he's an improviser and he was asked.
Yeah.
However, if you do not watch the #1 documentary in America and the UK, which is 4 parts.
Yeah.
Maybe make that clear before you comment on it, because it isn't like that.
Yeah.
I think if you watch it, it is 4 parts, and maybe you're like I said on Tuesday, you might be like, oh my God, I covered the trial. I saw it all. It's so much better than that because it's really an understanding of him, Sean Puffy Combs, as a human being, and that archetype of a person. Maybe you know someone like this. They're not obviously at the Puffy level of crime and manipulation, but they might have a little bit of that in them.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, oh, wow, that's interesting that like he was raised this way and then went this way and then, put himself in all the music stuff and was jealous of his artists and then also fucked him and didn't pay him. And like, so there's so many more than just, oh, I went to the party and I participated and now I'm bitter. It's not that.
Yeah.
That's not what he did. And he produced it and he bought the footage because P. Diddy never paid the people that he hired to film him.
Oh, wow. That's hilarious.
So he screwed over people for $20.
Yeah.
He like didn't just, it wasn't just big things. It wasn't just him being, violent against women and men in his life and essaying people. It's like so much worse than that.
Yeah.
And so it is very interesting, but this back and forth, and then Marlon's like, hey, and now Marlon spoke this morning and he said, hey, I am not supporting P. Diddy. I was just saying this, someone asked me a question and I get all that. And it's like, we're just in such a world now, whether it's people talking about each other on, I always say there should be a show. I heard what you said about me on your podcast.
Yes.
Instead of picking up the phone and talking to someone. And it's really weird to like your whole life. We would have to, in my generation, we would have to do a 3-way call if you wanted to hear 2 people talk shit about you.
Right.
Now you can just, pop it up in your car and listen to your 2 best friends for the last 20 years say that you're not that great.
No, like it's very hard. It's very easy. And this comment culture, this comment section culture is very real. I recently was watching some Donahues on YouTube and it was amazing because like it's back in the 1980s and everybody is communicating in good faith. People may not agree with each other, but they're just trying to like understand each other. And I feel like everyone is now just really in love with getting mad and, talking shit at each other.
If you are liking the show, let me know by actually clicking the like button, subscribe, and share with others. It really makes a difference. And if you want some of the juiciest stuff, the exclusive stuff, you want to go over to my Patreon. And you do that by going to heathermcdonald.net, click on Patreon. There is some juice from this show that we had to cut out and put over there because it was just too juicy. Yeah, and I feel like sometimes with guys and especially comedians, and you have these 2 strong great personalities, funny, talented people, 50 Cent and Marlon. And so they're like, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to admit I'm wrong. I'm not going to say, hey, I should have made it clear I didn't watch it, whatever, because now the disses are so bad. So he's like, I'm going to keep trolling. I'm going to keep trolling. That's what Marlon says. And then, so it's just.
Patton Oswalt just did the Vulture comedy podcast that Jesse David Fox did. And he did a really hard sort of like comedians being raised to like never apologize for anything is like dumb and wrong and from the past. And you do have to like understand that like you should grow. You should grow and be able to look back at your material and be like, oh, I don't believe that in the same way that I did before now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting that, Marlon isn't just like trying to clear it up and end it.
Yeah.
And he's kind of playing along with it. And because I remember when my misunderstanding happened with Chelsea and I didn't have the platform. I did have the podcast and I did clear it up on my podcast 2 days later. And I did apologize and explain that it was taken out of context. By that time, nobody cares.
Right.
I wasn't big enough for them to pick up my side. So I just had to suffer with like looking like an ungrateful dork for 5 years. But I remember I saw him right after that at a movie premiere of his.
Yeah.
And he was like, what are you doing? You look bad in this.
Yeah.
And I go, I've already apologized, but I'm not a big enough person to get the press.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you, you're not coming off well in this, in my opinion. And because you're, 2 50-plus-year-old men, even though they both look great.
Yes.
And they're so powerful and they're so rich. And then also, like you said, it's become this kind of fun culture in hip hop. They kind of started it.
Yeah.
And now everybody does it a little bit with the back and forth, and with podcasts and Instagram, you can do it. But, in the end, Sean Combs is a horrible, horrible person. Like, he's just a horrible person. No matter if you want to believe 40% of the stuff that's out there, he's still a horrible person.
Yeah.
And I think Marlon's like saying, hey, I didn't defend him. But again, it got misstrued and now you're going back and forth a million times. And
it's hard because also there's a way that we can like lionize and romanticize some of the terrible things that happen.
Yes.
Like, every story about a hip hop mogul dangling someone outside of a window, you are like, that's juicy.
Yeah. And then it's like, another one that Marlon did was like showed a photo of Curtis, 50 Cent, like oiled up with his shirt off, and he's like, looks like you liked the baby oil. I'm like, wait, what is going like now? So, and then I imagine each of them, like, are they alone taking a shit doing this?
Yes.
Or do they have like 5 people on computers pulling up old photos that they could make a funny meme out of to go back at each other?
I mean, that's interesting because I do think the way that these sort of like echo chambers of having people who employ you or who are employed by you and who like want to make you happy are coming to you with like, we could do this, we could do this.
Yeah.
And it stops you, there's no one there sort of saying like, hey, let's de-escalate this.
Yeah. Like now, in the past, people, had a sitcom on ABC.
Yes.
And they had a bunch of writers, and maybe they, like in our day, would maybe pick up a few writers to help them write the opening monologue for an MTV Awards.
Yes.
Now, everyone just has a bunch of people doing their social media and what they're, and it's immediate.
But also there are people who are good at it. Like, I worked the VMAs like 10 years ago, and Nicki Minaj was going to sort of like open beef with Miley Cyrus there, and just sort of she had a team of people around her who were like constantly strategizing with her, and it was like magnificent to watch. But also you see so many people who have been like taken down by this beefing,
Nicki Minaj then moved on to Cardi B.
Yes, and like I think has been damaged by that, right?
Yeah, because Cardi B is better at it.
Yes.
Just like 50 Cent is better at it.
Yes.
Some people, those are your talents. And she would even say that expression, Michelle Obama expression, when they go low, we go high. She's like, no, when they go low, I take them to hell.
Yes.
It's a great, and now people are saying like, there's what would Jesus do? And then there's, if you want to be petty and get revenge, what would 50 Cent do? And like, where are you in your goals here?
I mean, make them cry and then see where we can move forward from there, I think isn't.
It's the housewife motto.
Yes.
I love it when housewives are always like, the show is about conflict and resolution. I'm like, who started that? That's not what the show is about when I started watching it. It's about women in sky tops with no eyelashes and thin lips and pre-recession 2007 in their own homes with their rooster ceramic chickens and Tuscan kitchens and rooster chickens. Yeah, like those roosters. Like it was
Bethany's 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like this, now the show's like, they've got to fight and resolve. And the other women will be like, if you don't accept my apology, like, what are you doing? You better accept my apology. Otherwise, we're not all going to be in the show together. Well, then that's not a reality show.
Right.
Because it's like, so anyway, well, this is a reality show. This is the Real House Husbands of hip hop taking the streets. I don't know. But I hope it doesn't go anywhere weird.
Yes.
Oh, also, Fitty showed a photo of like a funeral arrangement from Pity. From Pity. Yeah, P. Diddy. From P. Diddy. I'm like, every time I listen back to these podcasts, I'm like, did I mix up Biggie and Diddy and Fitty? And I'm hoping I don't. Anyway, and everyone's like, oh my God, how did he send that to you and whatever? And I'm also like, okay, with all due, this could be from Fitty to himself.
Right.
To keep a narrative of like, oh, he's sending me funeral flowers. And yeah, I got shot 9 times. And yeah, I'm not afraid. Who the fuck knows what's real or not? You and I were just talking about these AI videos that now are so sad because we know that they're not real.
Yes.
Like, and I was saying, I like videos where like a dog protects a baby from going up the stairs. And now I'm like, Is that even real?
And it also leads us to a world where anytime people get any information that they don't like, they're like, that's a false flag. That's this person pretending to do something to themselves.
That's not my voicemail. Someone AI'd my voice, which is possible. Yeah.
Yes, but also it's usually not what happens.
No,
everyone, I was hacked. Do you remember the glorious age of I was hacked when people had tweeted something that was dumb?
We have some glorious ages. I'm going to. Oh, speaking of which, going back to 50 here. So when we were on Chelsea Lately together, and they had their 30-day romance.
Yes.
We decided to do a book club episode, a book club sketch.
Yes.
Where you were the head of the book club, correct?
Yes.
Because you're the smartest one. Lawyer, Berkeley grad. I mean, need I say more? So anyway, I'm playing myself. But for people that hated me on Chelsea Lately and After Lately, I was an exaggerated version of certain traits that I do embody.
Yes.
But to a ridiculous, I'm a fan, I'm a white girl from the Valley, I'm blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I actually read his book.
Yes.
And so
Heather loves a celebrity biography.
I love it. And, it was crazy. Like, he was selling drugs at like 9. It was insane. And, but anyway, so we're doing this whole thing. And I say to Drake, Drake, see if we can find this sketch somewhere.
Yes.
Because once the show ended, he hated us all so much, they just took everything off the internet, which we are grateful.
So lucky for that.
We are grateful for it. God bless the God bless the person that got that order and threw it down a river.
Look, what passed for comedy in 2008 is now a war crime.
That is a great line. Guy, you're so smart. What did you say it again?
What passed for comedy in 2008 is now a war crime.
Brilliance. So, I mean, trust me, we are all better off. If you're like me, you are a procrastinator, which means you're a last-minute shopper, and that makes the whole holidays way more stressful than it has to be. That's why I love Aura Frames. You can upload unlimited photos and video. You just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi. What I also love is that you can preload the photos before it ships. So when they get their Aura frame, they have all these wonderful photos that you've put together. This is such a great gift for maybe an aunt or a grandma or an older relative. You can also share photos and videos effortlessly straight from your phone all year long. For a limited time only, save on the perfect gift by visiting Aura Frames to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code JuicyScoop at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code JuicyScoop. The deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. I love when people compliment me on my hair. And thank you. I'm happy with my hair. I wasn't always happy with it. I noticed a significant change a couple years ago, and that's when I started using Nutrafol. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months. This holiday season, Nutrafol is the perfect gift for anyone on your list. Your mom or your aunt going through menopause, a friend who just had a baby and might be experiencing postpartum hair shedding, which happens a lot. Your husband or father who relies on his baseball cap to cover up, or maybe yourself, or anyone looking to support their overall health. Give the gift of confidence this holiday season with Nutrafol. Whether you are treating yourself or someone on your list, visibly healthier, thicker hair is the gift that keeps giving. Right now, Nutrafol is offering our Juicy Scoopers $10 off your first month subscription plus free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and use promo code JuicyScoop. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code JuicyScoop for $10 off. There are some people that have found sketches of me, whatever.
Yes.
So we could not find it.
Yes.
But somehow Drake found an article written about it.
Oh, wow.
Or something. And it's like Heather McDonald acts like she's, is saying that she's afraid that Chelsea's dating this guy.
Yes.
And then a book falls on the ground and I go down like it's a shooting. Because and then 50 comes in and was part of the sketch.
Yes.
And he's like, why are you afraid, Heather? And I have to act like I'm afraid of black men after I've written White Chicks, been with the Wayans brothers, whatever.
Your origin story
acting.
comes straight through Keenan Ivory Wayans.
It's acting, people. Like, yeah.
Well, and also, like, part of comedy can be self-parody and like exaggeration and making fun of the things about yourself that you understand are imperfect.
Right.
And there is a way that, like, I think a lot of the Gen Z comedy consumers don't understand anything being dangerous or difficult or a character needing to improve or anything.
Yes.
Like, it can be really hard. Like, I've been doing these little videos where I talk about things that only the old gays remember. And like in one of them, I like...
Tell me one.
Oh, like I do...
Since I do identify as an old gay.
No, you 100%. Like I talked about Sharon the Bagel Boy. I talked
Sharon the Bagel Boy.
I talked about Rob Lowe's sex tape, that kind of thing.
At the DMC, right?
Yes. But I did one about...
Memories.
I did one about like this very famous Drag Race Lip Sync for Your Life. And at the beginning, I sort of emphasized like, oh, Natalie Cole, she's a middling diva, and oh, Dita Ritz was like a middling drag queen, and everybody's like, how dare you? And I'm like, babes, I'm lowering expectations so that when we get to the climax, it's amazing, and we realize that like celebrating how great Natalie Cole was the whole point of this whole thing. And people are just like, you said something that was upsetting and like wasn't what I wanted you to say, and so watch to the end and then see maybe if there was a point to the whole thing. And like, there being shots in that, like, that's part of 50 Cent's story. Like, that's...
Right. So, I mean, we were writing it, having a good time writing it, and he was such a great sport and everything. So, I hope that these two can get a cute lunch together.
Yes. With
their bodyguards. And, you know, or do it go to the Waldorf Astoria at 3:00 for apps.
No, I like it. Like, I think cute lunch politics needs to be a concept that's out there, and understanding like a half bottle of Sauvignon Blanc can solve so many problems.
Absolutely. Chinese chicken salad.
Chinese chicken salad.
I love to share. I love to share. I like between two people, if you're hungry, 2 apps, 1 entree.
Oh, wonderful.
Just, it's the way to go, people.
Yes.
And it makes it fun, and it's very sad when you meet someone who's like, I'm not into sharing.
Yes.
I just don't go by yourself.
Right. But also I think, there was one writer on my talk show who hated any shared plate situation, and he was like very aggressive about it. But like, I do think that like sharing requires a level of trust.
It is. I survey the room.
Yes.
I went out to dinner last night with, there's 5 of us.
Yeah.
And I said, they know it's what I like to do.
Yes.
Let's look at the menu. I like to get a variety of things.
Yes.
A fish, a meat.
Yes.
A salad. And we did pretty well. We did pretty well. I give it my ordering. Like last night, I've given about a 7.5. It wasn't a full home run.
There were times in my life when I would be very reticent. One time I went to this great restaurant with a bunch of writers from a show, and it was all of the women from the show, and like no one ate anything, and I was like so mad. But now I am at a very middle-aged point in my life where I will take the last squash blossom, you know?
I never leave. I used to be like, how are they letting that last meatball go?
Yeah.
That last appetizer meatball. No way.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. My sister and I have our mother's like voice in our head. Like, that's a good piece of salmon.
Yes.
You can't always get salmon like that.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're full. Shove it down your gullet.
Yes.
But, with everybody being on the shots and stuff, you just aren't hungry for it. But I still have the cheap gene.
Yes.
Where I'm saving it for the winter.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to be at a nice restaurant again with a good piece of fish.
The way that the GLP-1 drugs are changing people's outlooks, how is this going to affect the supermarkets of Los Angeles? I'm wondering, how are the Las Vegas sports books going to do when people take their GLP-1 drug and then they don't feel the need to bet on college sports as much?
They said it's affecting gambling. Did you hear that?
I did not hear that.
It's affecting choice of drinking as much.
Yes.
There's now specific GLPs that they're creating just to focus on not wanting to drink.
Oh, really?
Napa's like, we won't be investing in that stock.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there is one for your fat cat.
Oh wow, that's
and
insane.
bring out fat drugs.
But while we were talking about
fat cat.
While we were talking about Chelsea lately,
Yeah.
I do just want to reflect back to you that the times we spent in the little media center there,
Yes.
just watching a television show together. I think that we watched the first Drag Race there.
Oh,
the hand job TV movie with Jennifer Love Hewitt is one of.
I need to talk about that. Okay, first of all, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe and tell a friend. But the little media room we're talking about is just this couches and one TV. And so sometimes if we wanted to like make fun of something or we had a little time like on like a Thursday or Friday, we had DVR shows.
Yes.
And there was a Lifetime movie about Jennifer Love Hewitt doing she was a hooker at a massage place.
Yes.
And I'm going to say hooker because that's what we called him back then.
The client list.
The client list. And we were dying because they were doing hand jobs and then what else? And they were sleeping with them. But then they'd be like, it's better than waitressing.
Yeah.
That's what they would say. And I'm like, is picking up someone else's eaten plate less or more offensive than sucking a D of someone you don't know who's the sheriff down the road? Like, what? We were like, what is this show? Like, how is this worse than not? I mean,
it was a magnificent show, but also like there wasn't enough space for all of us to sit down. So Heather would usually lay on the ground and then halfway through be like, someone crack my back.
Yes, I have been addicted to cracking my own back, having people crack my back, and cracking others' backs.
Yes.
That has been something I've asked Dr. Drew, could this be an addiction? And he said, well, would you like leave your family for it? I said no.
Do you think that a GLP-1 drug would reduce your inclination to crack people's backs or have your back cracked?
It would be good because also when I'm tired and in bed, I like to watch chiropractic cracking videos. As if somehow I'm getting a weird relief out of watching the person get cracked.
Okay. I won't go to a chiropractor because it scares me and I think it's pseudoscience.
I'm gonna be the 1.0008 that like comes out of quadriplegic.
Except that I love watching chiropractic videos. There's a guy in Orange County who's amazing.
Yeah, I've been to him.
Yes.
He is good and he did crack myself and I felt good about it, but I still am just like scared to go back.
But then I need to tell you the one exception to I will never go to chiropractors. It is a pseudoscience. There is a chiropractor. There are multiple chiropractor offices in the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport. And it's a doctor's office in an airport.
Really?
And I will just be like, I would never go in Los Angeles, but I have a 2-hour layover? Yes.
So did you?
Oh, I've done it so many times.
So wait, you get full-blown cracks.
You get full-blown adjustments.
Wet. Oh my God. I would do it because when I'm in the airport, I'm like, I'll go to those other people, those massage people.
Yes.
Like in the chair.
And like, that's fine. That's lovely. But at the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport, there are multiple locations where you can just say like, hey, what's going on? Let's do this.
And they don't do it. Obviously, they don't do any x-rays or anything. They're just like, let me pull your neck.
No, let me pull your neck. And then also, I was going to Stretch Lab in Los Angeles, and there was a guy who was a student chiropractor who was there who wouldn't do like neck adjustments and stuff, but he would do some other like chiropractic stuff.
And you get some cracks?
I would get some cracks, and he doesn't work there anymore, and I'm pretty sure that they fired him for unlicensed practice. When
I go into a massage place, I say, listen, I know you're not supposed to. And I like wink.
Yes.
And I'm like, but fucking make it happen.
That's a real happy ending.
That's the only happy ending I want. Oh my God, amazing. So funny. Okay, moving on. Danity Kane reunited and they're gonna go on the road, and that's Aubrey O'Day's band that she did from making of the band, and she's supposed to come on Juicy Scoop.
Oh wow.
We did an event together a little while ago. Obviously she's in the doc. It's very sad what she reveals.
Yes.
That in someone else's complaint or whatever says, I walked into a room and she was unconscious and being violated.
Oh wow.
By two men, one being Diddy.
Yeah.
And so that's a very disturbing thing. But she's great. She's great. And she was great at this event. She sang and she was great and she was fun. And hopefully she'll have time to come on before she goes on tour. But she's a great personality. Like, she's really funny besides being a great singer. So this could just be the lemonade that comes after all these years, I really hope.
I mean, For all of time, we have expected that any woman's path to success is going to have to negotiate through a bunch of creepiness and a bunch of predatory behavior. And it's always weird to like look back after social change and just like the number of things that people had to take for granted. I mean, even when it just comes to like having phones thrown at you when you were an assistant and that kind of thing back in the 2000s, we all were just like, that's part of the game. And it really does require somebody to be like, you know, sexual assault is not a necessary part of becoming a girl group.
I know. And I remember the only really offensive thing, there's been a lot, but this one just was strange because it came from a woman. So after I wrote on the Keenan Ivory Wayans late night talk show for 6 months, and I was only 27. It was a Writers Guild job, so that was pretty good that I got that. And so I go for some other meeting. I don't know if it was a casting or what, but it was a woman and she was probably like 10 years older than I am, or maybe a little bit older, but attractive, whatever. And she's like, wait, what? You were writing for Keenan Ivory Wayans? And she's like, whose dick did you have to suck to get that job? And I go, what? And she goes, no, seriously.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, nobody's. Like, nothing. Like, I've said over and over, all the guys, extremely respectful. Nothing weird ever happened on any of those sets with me and writing and nothing. And, but also I was like, does that mean like my agent who got me the job? Like, it was just, it was so diminishing too.
It's also like, let's take a moment to acknowledge that Keenan Ivory Wayans had multiple female writers at a point in time where having multiple female writers on a variety show like that was not normal. Right. And like, that's very impressive. But also this person who's just sort of reflecting back this idea that like the only way you could have gotten that job was that. And there's that Galaney energy.
Ghislaine Maxwell,
Yes, of women who were like,
women can be horrific.
The way I can move with this through this system, like if it's going to be a transactional system, I'll, move people around and facilitate this stuff, to get ahead. And it's like, it's weird because as somebody who's not directly affected by these things, part of me is like, that's so sad, that's so horrible, how could people participate in that? And also acknowledging that like, it was the only way to move through that system as a woman. Like doors were shut and people were doing things to get through the doors and they were gross things. And I'm not saying they're okay. I'm just sort of saying like, well, that's how it happened, Yeah,
I mean, wow. Okay, well, good for her. Kim Kardashian cried on her latest episode of her reality show, reflecting on what she remembers Howard Stern talking about her Paris robbery, because during the season that's up right now, she's actually going to trial for the men that robbed her, that were actual professional, like older French, like, jewel thieves and things.
Yes.
And it took a very long time for the trial to come, but it was coming. And so she's reflecting on it. And she's like, I just remember, Howard Stern mocking it and saying that, it wasn't real. So then Howard talks about it and is like, well, luckily this show is taped, so let's just see what her memory is. Is it right? And then they show him, and he says that's what people are saying, that it's not real and everything. Which I get that. Both of them are right. She has a right to be hurt by it. He said what he said.
I mean, it's just the Kardashians are such a weird thing because they have made a huge amount of money off of being cultural objects, but also how much are we allowed to say like, they're not people and I don't have to worry about their feelings because they are these things. It's like we're trying to come to a point where we are more able to acknowledge people's humanity, but like
it was a good joke that he said. Robin Quivers says, she's like reading the info, and she says, and they put her in a bathtub and they took all her jewels, and security was with the sisters at a nightclub, and there were no surveillance cameras or whatever that caught anything. And he made some joke like, the one time that cameras aren't following the Kardashians. And so I think that's where she like remember, and it's like the way your memory is, it's not 100% accurate, but it was
especially
hurtful.
about something traumatic.
Yeah, it was hurtful. So it's like she has a right to remember it as being hurtful, and it was.
My question is, when will Kim be brought to justice for the crimes against acting that she is committing on All's Fair?
Well, since we're going to talk about that, how much have you watched?
I've watched the first episode. I haven't watched any more.
I've watched like the first 2.5 and sort of fell asleep. And I keep telling myself I need to go back because it is so ridiculous. Like I might, you know what? I have a fun weekend plan with attorney Shannon McDonald Goldstein.
Yes.
And we're going to have like sister slumber time in Laguna for 2 nights. So I think she's who I need to watch it with. That's what I'm going to do. But the acting is like.
I just wish the writing were a little juicier.
Yeah. Well, some of the writing is so ridiculous and it's so dirty.
Yes.
And it's like, you cum bucket, like things like that.
Can I tell you a somewhat juicy story?
Yes, please.
So my best friend, who is a drama writer, was an assistant, and a older, respected, award-winning writer who is friends with Ryan Murphy and everything like that was like, hey, I would love to work with you on your career. Would you like to come to Palm Springs with me? And he was like, no, I will not go to Palm Springs with you, because he understood what was being offered. And then after this guy had moved along from my friend, he moved along to another guy who said yes, and who is the creator of All's Fair, along with him and Ryan Murphy, and was the creator of one-season spectacular Dr. Odyssey. And it is just like, the question is as we have a larger conversation about, transactional sex in this business, it is, what do we do about the people who made it work for them?
And what do we do about the people that open up their phone to the Deadline article and regret that they didn't hop in their car and go down the 10 for 2 hours? And the thing is, let me say a couple of things. I don't know that any of this is true. I am just reporting rumors. Allegedly. These are rumors that I've heard. But also, and more importantly, I'm not criticizing anyone for transactional sex. I think that that's an important and beautiful part of the queer community. I just wish that he were a better writer. Wow. Well, I invite people to my house, which is basically Palm Springs, and it's not going to help anyone's career.
Yes.
We are going to go. We are going to get drunk. We are going to go dance at the Nest. We are going to have a cute lunch on El Paseo. And we're going to float in the pool.
Yes.
And watch All's Fair on the outdoor TV. That's what's happening at my house. It's that time of year, the time to find the perfect holiday gifts. And let's be honest, nobody wants to give something that's forgettable. That's where The RealReal comes in. The RealReal is the most trusted name in authenticated luxury resale, and it's my source for finding real gifts for the special people in my life. I have gotten some really great gifts for myself. Well, Peter got it for me, and he got them from The RealReal, and it really made it easy. So I'm telling you, send the husband over there. They know the brands that you like. I have an Hermès watch. I have a great handbag from there. I've enjoyed the things I've gotten from The RealReal so much over the years. The RealReal is the world's largest and most trusted resource for authenticated luxury resale. With thousands of pre-loved luxury arrivals daily, no one does resale like The RealReal, and no one makes the holidays shine brighter than The RealReal. And now get $25 off your first purchase when you go to therealreal.com/juicy. That's therealreal.com/juicy to get your $25 off. Start shopping now at therealreal.com/juicy. Just speaking of this is kind of funny. This just came from TMZ. Zach Woods, hilarious rant he did all about Quentin Tarantino. Did you see it?
Yes, but he has just been left and right killing it. His thing about the Riyadh Comedy Festival was so funny. I actually saw him. I was at the Americana seeing him.
He's a comedian and an actor.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw him at the Americana, and he was coming out of the bathroom and everyone was high-fiving him because he had just done a video making fun of the people who were going to the Riyadh Comedy Festival. So his Instagram is really the place to be.
Oh my God. So basically Quentin Tarantino went, I believe, on Howard Stern, and again minimized Roman Polanski, who was convicted of full essay, a 13-year-old girl, and hence why he lives in Romania or wherever he is.
Yes,
and
France, I think.
What?
Is he in France? I don't know.
And just and he basically was like, Well, I mean, it was consensual, but she was 13. Whatever he says, he downplayed it somehow. So then he went off of him, and he basically, in my opinion, without saying P. Diddy, but it reminded me that Quentin Tarantino is a little P. Diddy-ish in that he puts himself in his films, and nobody wants to see him in his films, and nobody wants to see, and so he criticizes his looks and stuff, but he's so eloquent in his snark and his way. It's pretty brilliant.
But I don't understand him coming. What did Paul Dano do to him? Like, people were saying, like, oh, he must have just said, Paul Dano must have, like, turned down one of his movies or something. But him being so emphatic that Paul Dano is the worst actor working is just such a...
That's what Quentin Tarantino said?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. He's, people are weird. With everybody on podcasts, everyone is just getting themselves in trouble. Okay.
I didn't hear about the Roman Polanski stuff, and I was, like, slightly happy. I was like, oh, if Quentin Tarantino is going to, like... do something stupid, at least this is like him beefing with some, some actor and not him doing something like actively terrible and creepy.
I mean, he's maybe that could have been an older conversation about Roman Polanski.
Yes.
But I just remember it, so I'm just trying to put it together. Jen Shah is out of prison. She was a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Yes.
She did an elderly scam, vulnerable people scam, and Andy Cohen has emphatically said on his shows she will not be back on The Housewives. And people are like, my God, we've had other criminals and the Housewives, multiple arrests, DUIs, Teresa Giudice, all this other stuff. Why wouldn't she come back? And people also think it might be because Andy recently was a victim of a crime.
Oh, what was the crime?
He went on the Today Show to warn people about it. It was pretty interesting. He got a call. He lost his bank card. He got a call saying, like, this is the bank and all the things. But it's so sophisticated now,
yes.
Like that even the person then calls back the next day and says, just know we would never ask for your Apple ID, this, that.
Yeah.
They did successfully get money out of his account.
Ugh.
And he's like, I've warned my own parents about this stuff. I feel like, how could I have fallen for it too? But so basically he was like, if anything ever happens, if your bank ever calls and you've like lost your account or it's about transferring accounts or reinstating a card, just get in your vehicle and go to your bank. Walk into your bank yourself. And I thought that was really good advice. Well, hang up the phone and go to the bank.
I mean, they are closing all of their local branches. But I mean... about this, like,
I know it is so hard.
There is something different between like, oh, they didn't pay their taxes, or it was something like that, and something that was like
actively,
legitimately predatory. And it's like,
and she was.
And
I'm not looking to have her come back on anything myself.
Yeah. I mean, look, she was good TV.
I didn't like her screaming and her weirdness, so I don't miss her on the show. I think the cast is great right now, so I don't want to see her back. But she can go on like Traitors or something.
I've only seen half of season 1. And
it gets better. You could just pop in right now.
No, I have to. I'm a completist.
Okay. Good for you. Meredith Marks, she's a Real Housewife, and she's now a DJ.
Oh, thank God.
And I just want to say, with all of the, Tom Sandoval he got rid of the karaoke band, and he's just doing Vanderpump trivia.
Oh, good for him.
And it's a smart, easy way with a higher profitability, Luann is scaling down her band and she's doing more Q&A with like 1 or 2 songs. This DJ thing could be the most genius thing. We don't know. First of all, she's hearing impaired.
Yes.
Okay. So we all of a sudden, I just think Brooks or somebody was like, you should just be a DJ, Mom, because all you have to do is just pretend. Well, we'll put the track.
And also, like, gay guys will be so thrilled in Charleston, South Carolina. What else do they have going on?
And it's just a fun dance night of drinks, and you're around people that are familiar with Bravo. It's like going to a sports bar. It's a good idea.
It's like, it always makes me sad that James Kennedy was like the one person to figure out a lucrative gig from all of those people.
But then he got a little violent with his girlfriend.
Oh.
That's why.
I was going to say that the now roidy James Kennedy should be brought back for the Vanderpump with the new class, but not after that. That's not okay.
They're not going to. There's nobody that got a spillover. because not even that other guy that was the manager.
But you and I need to figure out because they saturate the same areas. That everyone's trying to launch an alcohol, and then you have Jen trying to do an elder scam, and that was not the right answer. But we need to figure out those other businesses that these women could go into to like really make some money, because it is, to me, sad.
I think DJ is the way to go. DJ is a way to go, because there are real DJs that really can do it, but you could fake it.
Yeah.
You could fake it easier than anything. You could fake it easier than lip syncing. You could fake it easier than podcasting, dancing, writing a book, ghostwriting, all of it. There's nothing easier, in my opinion, to fake than the DJ. But
there is something nice when you have somebody who is like a demographically interesting DJ. Like I've always said, the best nights of my life are created by like trans male DJs or lesbian DJs who are just like, know when the Fleetwood Mac should come in, and you know.
I mean, I saw Kyle Cook from Summer House. I thought he played great music. I was on a high. I had a great time. I think a DJ is a really good time. When I've seen her DJ, it'll be like her being like, the rumors about the husband, and then like it's her voice going over, and she's like,
but like you and I are two of the greatest cultural critics of our time, and I think you and I are able to figure out those jobs that they can do easily.
Yeah.
It's like the thing, one of my great observations, if I do say so myself, is that cooking show requires a greater level of sincerity than just about any other job in media. And it really is only the great Valerie Bertinelli who is able to like go into that territory and like pull it off. And I think figuring out the things like what could Sonia do that she would be able to like just absolutely destroy. And it really is hard. They used to try to like, these ladies can't host a morning show.
Well, like a drunken moment, falling off of a stool and having Bethany pick you up after you say, and then you fall off the pool. Those moments that make you iconic on a housewife show doesn't make for a 90-minute live show. It's like a completely different thing. So yeah, you have to figure out what that is.
Yes.
And just pop in to a fun like gay bar and just take a bunch of photos and have your track play and dance around and pretend like you actually know how to like screw the things. It's the smartest thing. And she sells caviar.
Yeah. Good for her.
I think it's great. And I just love I love how it came about where she's like, so I was talking to Brooks, my son, and he says DJing is what I should be doing. And I say, you know what? I'm a lawyer, I'm a jeweler, I'm a caviar concierge, and now I'm a DJ. Perfect.
Brooks was such a great innovation that we went that far into the Real Housewives universe before someone was smart enough to have a teenage gay son. Like, brilliant.
I've been praying for it.
Yeah.
And I've met him in person.
Oh, really?
Skin like milk spilling down a peach.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Who, like, of the famous people, of the famous gay guys you have met, who
Besides
was
you,
most thrilled to meet you? Who on whom are your powers most powerful?
Oh, I can't even think. Nobody
really
sticks out.
No, Heather, like, you are adored by many gays. Look, as somebody who is adored by many brunette women, I'm able, I'm
more afraid that there's one or two out there that I disappointed when they came up to me.
I mean, yes. But
I wasn't as gracious and lovely, and I might have just been like, oh, hi, and that was not enough. So that's a problem too.
Heather, I don't know that people are showing up for gracious and lovely. Like, you might have disappointed on gracious and lovely, but you're not disappointing on I have hard takes on popular culture. And that's what I'm showing up for.
Listen, I will talk to you, ask questions. I can dance with you and everything, but also if I'm waiting in line to get a drink,
yes,
that's the priority. It just like I'm waiting to go from the 101 to the 405. I really don't want you cutting in front of me. I also might cut in front of you and act like I just moved here and I didn't know the freeway was coming. I have a whole backstory because I do feel guilty about doing it, but sometimes I have to go right to the end. And then I'm like, what? How did this first get here? And then I just get in there.
You use acting class techniques.
Yes,
internally.
And to tell myself, like, that is such a dick move, Heather. You don't like it when people do it. Now you're doing it to you. And then I'm like, does this person recognize me in the car? Will they do a TikTok about it?
I mean, it is that interesting thing when somebody, like, comes up to you or I and knows who we are. It is that thing of, like, I think they are getting a very honest experience, and that may not be what they want.
And sometimes it could be the most lovely thing. Sometimes you could be distracted. Sometimes you think you gave them a lot, but it wasn't enough.
Yes.
Because all of a sudden something pops up and you see a comment and you're like, I do remember meeting you. I thought it was nice.
Yes.
I'm sorry it wasn't nice enough.
Yes.
Like, and then you have to be like, I can't please everybody. Vanderpump Rules talked a little bit about that. On one report, I heard that it was the highest rated show on Peacock the day after, which you have to watch the Bravo stuff the day after on Peacock. But then there was another report saying that people who actually watched it on Bravo as it came out, that the numbers were extremely low, but a lot of people don't have Bravo anymore, you know?
I worry that there are no stars. I worry. And the thing is, for a show like this is like, it takes some time for you to build up and actually get to know who the people are.
Yeah.
They're working off of the structures of the original show very significantly. You know, I like that this time, like, the Tom, the beta model is the one who is the Jax. But it's like, ultimately, the collection of mental illnesses that is Jax Taylor is, you know, lightning in a bottle. How are you going to...
He's not coming back to the Valley. What's going to happen?
Yes.
He's getting divorced.
I mean...
He lost the restaurant.
Oh, really?
He's
That's
not
sad.
part of the restaurant. I don't know if he's still doing his Mind of a Man, podcast.
I mean, he's not a stable person, but like...
Hopefully he'll get stable and then he can like make some appearances as co-parent back on the show, just because I want him to make an income for Brittany. But,
I mean, Brittany has some commercials out.
Brittany's doing great.
Yes. But like, ultimately, I think the real question is, it's about tendons, it's about connective tissues, it's about Sheena Shea. And the thing is like, at this point in time, a couple of episodes in, I don't know which of those people would have the capacities of a Sheena Shea to like keep the story going and shift from every part that you need to in it. Like, it's weird that we're back at a point in time where they're pretending that they care about their music and their modeling and everything like that. Also, I gotta say, it's the year of our Lord 2025, and it's real white. And like, at least original Vanderpump had like 17 people who you found out were Latino 3 seasons in.
Do you think, I agree with that, all of that. I love that, 3 seasons in. Should Sheena Shea, for her mental health, should she watch this? Should she not watch this show? Where she was the person that made the show exist because she was having the affair with had an affair with Brandy Glanville's husband. And that was where the spinoff happened. And she chose not to do the Valley. And now people are saying, who's the Sheena Shea? How do you think she should conduct her life?
Okay, in the song I Enjoy Being a Girl from Flower Drum Song, there is a lyric, like a filly who is ready for the race. And Sheena Shea, Eason has always been a filly who is ready for the race. And the thing is like, there are times when that becomes sad. Like when she is talking about how much she wants to do Dancing with the Stars, and we feel sad for her that Ariana gets it and Ariana doesn't really care. The thing is like, as an outsider and an older person, I'm able to look at Sheena Shea and be like, baby, you're going to be doing this forever. You are like, this is a marathon for you. This is not a sprint. And these children may be on a television show for a season or two, but like, the traders will come for you, young lady. I mean, watching Rachel Zoe walk into Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I was just like, of course, you know, like this fits, this works.
And a caftan, I die.
Yes.
I die.
And like Sheena, like there will always be a place for her. There will always be things for her to do. And I know that like the immediacies of where is my income right now is a thing. And I also understand the like, oh God, but I want to be doing my craft, you know? And I think Sheena Shea is the rare person for whom this is a fucking craft, you know?
I know. That's why she's got to, something else has got to come for her. Let's talk about the story that has everyone talking.
Did you watch any
Rivalry? Yes, I did.
What did you think?
I did the Cliff Note version, in which I went to TikTok.
Okay.
And I typed it in because I knew I just wanted to get to the steamy parts.
It's almost all steamy parts.
Heated Rivalry is based on a book.
Uh-huh.
And for the people that read the book, they're extremely pleased with this adaptation.
Yes.
And it is an incredible idea for a show and a book, which is it's 2 rival hockey players who end up falling in love. So it's a gay romance with sports. and with incredible chemistry, directing that has, no matter what your sexuality is, you're like, what does this mean I am? It's very juicy. And there's just juicy stuff that happens in the story.
Well, okay. So I've always been very weirded out by the fact that so many of the YA gay romances and so many of the like
Young
respectable
adult
literary fiction about gay men comes from female writers and frequently straight female writers. And I felt weird about it. But then Jennifer Weiner, who wrote like In Your Shoes and stuff like that, she did a thing on her Substack where she was like, 90% of stuff that's like 90% of readers are women. Like women read books. And so this stuff is going to be from women for women. And like in Japan, making kind of like gay porny like anime or like comic books, manga for women has been something that's been going on for years. So like it can be very female.
So wait, did a woman write this or not?
Yes.
Okay.
A bisexual woman wrote the book, but then the showrunner is a comedy guy, a gay comedy guy who made the show Letterkenny, which is not for you, but is very, very funny.
Okay.
And in this other show, Shoresy. So like, also I think having a comedy person be in charge of it, you don't get some of the like schmaltzier sentimentality you can get from things like this. And it really is like fun and poppy and good. But like, what level of sexiness did you see? Did you see the whole touching?
No, because I don't think they can show that on TikTok.
Okay, so like,
I felt like I was doing something wrong just even watching the TikToks. Like, I felt like I needed to like go to confession, but I kept seeing arched back.
Yes,
and then I kept looking for the arched back scene, and I guess on TikTok that's too sexy to show.
Well, and then also there is like a really good like on the face of the bottom when he is being entered. That is like good, and there's been some controversy because like neither of these actors have talked publicly about their sexuality, and the showrunner, who is gay, has been like, you don't have the right to ask about that. How do you feel about that?
Well, I saw some interviews with the two of them.
Yes.
So they're accent free in that. Because one guy's playing Russian, he's not Russian.
Yes.
And they got these sort of matching tattoos.
Yeah.
And the tattoos are awful, by the way. The one who plays the Russian, it's a heart.
Yes.
Looks like I drew it with a pen.
Yes.
A heart on his calf that says sex cells. And then the other one with the dark hair, he has sex cells just written on his thigh. And they come off, honestly, just like they're really good friends.
Yes.
I believe if they're not gay, they're definitely bi, or they enjoyed these acting scenes. So will this have like another season?
I don't know, because they're like going through time very, very quickly. Like it starts out in 2012. We're like going through years. And so I don't know.
Why didn't we milk this out?
Right. Okay. But here's the thing is
Could
that
have
because
been so good, like one gets married, one has a kid.
it was made for Crave, which is a Canadian cable network. And this is I forget whether I said this about Hunting Wives, but Hunting Wives made us realize that the point of Netflix was to allow us to watch a Starz original series without feeling guilt about it. And HBO has followed suit by letting us watch a fucking Crave show and treat it like it's HBO, you know?
Absolutely. Because I was kind of like, okay. And I knew we wanted to talk about it. And so I was like, I felt like, oh my God, I have a test tomorrow and I didn't do my homework. So I got the Cliff Notes, which is TikTok.
But Heather,
and I definitely get the vibe of it. And I definitely appreciate and the people talking about how sexy it was women.
Like, yes, but the thing is, Heather, I would say, do yourself a favor. Wait until Peter and the boys are out of the house. Watch an episode. Like, really.
I am.
Because it really is. My friend Riri made the point that, like, with a show, the question is always, like, how much horny can you have? And she called this as like 62% of scenes are horniness. Like,
yes.
And also the best part is the villain is the mom. Like, it understands fundamentally that the villain in a gay story is the mom who is like trying to make her son be all about his endorsements and is going to be like upset, but then fundamentally understanding, I'm sure, when her son comes out of the closet to her.
I'm excited.
Oh, and then
by the way, this might be the time that, in case anyone didn't know, I am related to a very famous hockey player.
Oh, really?
Yes, I am.
Who?
Charles McAvoy of the Boston Bruins.
How is he related to you?
He's my cousin.
Oh, that's amazing, Heather. How did this never come up? I've known you for 19 goddamn years.
Because I don't want to be that braggy girl. But no, his dad.
I know that your brother dated Penelope Spheris.
famous comedy director. That is true too. No, so his dad is my first cousin.
Oh, wonderful.
So his grandma and my dad were brother sister.
But I need to tell you, in the third episode,
yes,
they go to two completely different characters who I think are two different books, where it's just a different closeted guy in hockey who goes to this barista and falls in love with him. And then the barista is like, oh, I'm dating a famous closeted person. Can I handle this? And it's really sweet.
The barista scene I saw where they're like, girl, that's cute.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys, that's what you're going to watch. How do you feel about Pamela Anderson on her year of happy surprises of no makeup and letting her hair go this auburn curly style?
I love it. And I think that she is a uniquely placed person. Okay, I do have to tell you, I have a weird opinion and energy about people who leveraged hotness to become famous and then as they get older are like, it's not all about hotness. And I am sort of like, well, that was what we bought you for. That is how you marketed yourself. And now you're weird and mad that things are different. But also, she was just so good in The Naked Gun. And she really is like, part of her has always been boobs and hotness, but also part of her has always been this extreme sincerity and Canadianness.
And so it's funny that you said that because I was with my friend Jacques, who was on the show Tuesday, and he's obsessed with this too. And he had a similar take to yours.
Yes. And
I was like, well, first of all, she's doing it for a movie and she's utilizing the skincare partnership and she has a hair product. And it doesn't mean she's going to be this redhead forever. It's obviously not as attractive as if she went blonde. I don't think you need to get a facelift and all that stuff, but I do think you need to have hair and a look that makes you look the best without plastic surgery is personally but I get it. But I will say her whole thing with Liam Neesom, because first when it happened that they were a couple and talking about it, I was like, this is amazing. They each have 2 boys. And then I was like, wait, was this bullshit for the show? And so in this article on People, she finally says the truth.
Which is what?
Which was, we were just friends. We hung out one weekend. It sounds like that one weekend they did fuck. But she's like, I pruned his garden and we had one little romance. And then we just, decided we were just going to be friends after that. And then the press happened. So they didn't do anything while they were filming. They had their one little rendezvous weekend or week. Decided they would just be friends. He, he's still significantly older than her. He's like 70 and she's 56 or something. Or 58. And then they played along that it was still happening for the camera. So it was like a half lie.
I like that we still live in a Hollywood that is capable of telling us lies. You
Yes.
know, like it's very golden age. And I have to say, the color on that sweater is doing so much work in that photo. It does look really good.
Yeah, because she has beautiful natural blue eyes. The reason I always say this, became so famous, I think, is because it was a time, same with Farrah Fawcett, where you couldn't just create big teeth.
Yeah.
Or full lips. So if you came out of the womb and you had a fucking killer smile,
yes,
you had a chance to jump ahead of other very talented people that didn't have that good of a smile. And she had a perfect nose, perfect lips, perfect smile without plastic surgery at a time when not everyone could look like Pamela Anderson.
I get annoyed when people who are already very famous then go like, yay, body positivity. I love my curves. And like, there's one particular person who I'm like, yes, but you only got to be this level of famous because you were hotter than I am.
Well, you'll have to tell me after.
Yes.
Well, speaking of which, what's her name? Oh, Kate Winslet is angry that, why can't we just age naturally and this and that? And I want to say you can.
Emma Thompson.
And
Emma Thompson, you've been in lots of movies with her. Have you seen her recently?
Yeah, and what's great is if you want to go that route, you should.
Yes.
You should get all the movie roles.
Yes.
And if you care more about waking up in the morning and not having a wrinkly forehead, get your Botox, and maybe you won't have all those roles. And the fact that Nicole Kidman can have both, don't be jealous.
I mean, I also think it's really hard. She got torn apart for her body after
Who? Kate Winslet?
Kate Winslet.
For what?
People called her fat after the Titanic, and like that was so
right,
unfair.
God, she was so not. Never.
Yes, and the 90s were
horrible.
Yes.
And early 2000s. Remember when they all said Jessica Simpson was obese because she wore a size 4 jean?
John Kerry's wife called Catherine Zeta-Jones fat in Chicago.
The John Kerry, the
ran for president.
Oh my God.
No, like it's truly insane what people did, and so I understand the mind fuck about it.
Well, did you watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, right?
Yes.
Did you catch the snark remark, I don't like it, that Erica Jane said about Sutton?
No, what did she say?
Bose was like, I don't know about Sutton, Slim. She said something like Slim Sutton or something like Slim Shady. She made something like Slim, and Erica goes more like Box, because that's how she doesn't think that she has like an hourglass figure or whatever.
But also like, and I'm
Erica,
we know where
you've been on Ozempic for 4 years. Yeah. And you can stay on it for the rest of your life, and you slim down after you don't hit menopause and then suddenly have a skinnier body than you ever did.
Yeah.
Which is why they are great.
Yes.
But then no matter whether you're on it or not, it's just a rude thing to say, because the
people getting on GLP-1 drugs who were previously fat and talked with pride about it, and then now are sort of like, I was a terrible person before, now I've got it all figured out. It's like, no, now you are paying money for a hormone to help you out.
Yeah.
Like, please don't be critical of other people who aren't in the same situation as you. I'm talking about Lizzo.
How do you feel about Melissa McCarthy?
Oh, I mean, it's like, I think... Well, it's interesting because I was like, there are these Gen X energies of like, be authentic, be who you are. But then there are like, the trans community has done so much to like open us up to the idea of like, being who you want to be is your own authenticity. And like, as somebody who like has broken a fair number of chairs in my life and frequently goes to situations where my body doesn't fit into them, the thing that happened to me on the plane, I don't begrudge anyone doing anything to be able to move through this world a little bit easier, to be able to fit into clothes a little bit easier. Good for you,
I totally agree, and you're right. Why is it that we don't have a problem if someone wants to change their whole sexual identity?
Well, those people do run into some problems.
Well, they do, but I'm saying there's the same people that are embracing that. I'm just saying the hypocrisy. Same people that are like, you go, girl, are like, oh, please, she took a shot.
Yes.
It's like everyone has an opinion.
Well, it's because people love to moralize about fatness, and people love to believe that their own lack of fatness is because they are a virtuous person. And I did it the right way by being sensible. She's just taking a shot. And it's like, in All About My Mother, the Pedro Almodovar film, there's a moment where one of the trans characters says, I think the more you are the person you imagine yourself to be, the more authentic you are. And I think that that's a beautiful idea.
Yeah, and I really think that, the fact that people that struggled their whole life and was seen even as this castable character.
Yes.
Because of their body type.
Yes.
And now that is no longer them.
Yes.
But they look great in a cat suit and I think that's fascinating. And I think it's very interesting to hear people that are now, a completely different look, and it's attainable, and it didn't take surgery. And it's not them weighing their chicken, and things like that. And so, but I said, that's going to be interesting what it's like for them to now, this new life that they have. And I just saw they're doing a show. Are you somebody that lost an enormous amount of weight and are now getting ready to date?
Oh.
And how that would be, kind of like after The Biggest Loser kind of a life where you're going to most likely stay this.
I thought you were going to say it was people who were having to go through obstacle courses to win skin removal surgery. That's the show that I want to see.
My God, that is so good.
Kate Winslet, I mean, she's hitting that point. I mean, Goldie Hawn said it in First Wives Club. You're hot piece of ass, DA, or driving Miss Daisy. Those are the 3 ages that a woman can be. And she is running into a point where I'm sure that there are fewer roles for her and fewer exciting things for her to do. And that's hard. And it is sort of this question.
But you should embrace that too. I mean, Reese Witherspoon cried about it, and she bought for a production company in which she bought all the best books.
Yes.
So she can either produce it, be in it, whatever. It's true. It's like life changes and no one is guaranteed anything. And to hear like big stars boo-hoo about it, whether you're a woman or a man, or, you know, I'm thin now and now I'm not getting the roles, or I'm this size and now I'm not getting the or I'm white and I'm not getting the roles, or I'm black, I'm not getting the roles. It's like nobody wants to hear you bitch about it. It's like no one feels sorry for you.
There is also the thing of like, to what extent am I expected to manipulate my body to continue to do this craft that I do is something that is weird. Like, you know, it is like so many of the women 50 or older, like, you know, have had stuff done to keep going. And it is also weird because it also makes them kind of, to some extent, not look like most women their age in America. And, you know, I think that is interesting, or like when it comes to
like
castability.
a lot of stars, when they're playing the role, they let the Botox and everything deplete. Mm-hmm. They play the role where they're like, I'm going to get you, little lady, you know, and then they get the Oscar nod.
Yeah.
And they plan it out.
Yes.
Inject me 3 to 4 weeks before the Oscars.
Right.
I'm not going to drink. I'm going to do the shot, you know, and then they look great on the red carpet. And I think that's perfect. Well, that's having the best of both worlds.
There are times when we went to Australia with Chelsea lately, I remember seeing like women in their 50s and 60s who were like healthy and athletic and had not had work done and had their natural color of hair. And it was like really inspiring and beautiful. But like ultimately we are Angelinos and we are used to, you know, people getting a little here and a little there.
I like a little here and a little there.
Yeah.
I color my hair. Yes. I, you know, wear makeup. I like to look as cute as I can for as long as I can. And
how many potions are you putting in your morning beverages? Are we taking any collagen peptides? I
am, Bub. I believe they're a sponsor. And I just started. I'm very slow. I haven't done any of the hormones and the pellets and all that stuff.
Yes.
Though I'm freaked out that I haven't because everyone says I'm insane not to.
Yes.
So I've had not a horrible time with it all.
Heather, I just realized
the greatest part of getting older is not getting your period. If you had something 5 days a month for the last 40 years of your life, it is the greatest thing.
It is just such testament to the fact that you and I don't talk to each other enough. Like, and when we talk, we have things to talk about that I was like, God, I have no idea where Heather is on that journey.
On the journey is pretty great. It hasn't been too bad. You know, just the cost of tampons, not having a tampon, being with your kids and having them say what's wrong, and then Brandon and I'm like, Drake, I just need to get a tampon, and Brandon being like, what's a tampon? And then Brandon and Drake being like, it's like a Band-Aid for your vagina. And I'm like, watch your brother, because I need to run to the bathroom. Like all those times, like it's such a fucking nightmare, and guys will never understand it of what it does, and that it's embarrassing. God forbid it like shows in your clothes and someone has to tell you and you're embarrassed. Embarrassed of what? Embarrassed that you're fucking have a uterus.
Okay.
Like there's nothing to be embarrassed of.
Two things. The Seinfeld.
But we do.
That Seinfeld had a bit about making fun of detergent commercials that say getting out blood stains. It's like, who has blood stains? Are you a murderer? It's like, Jerry Seinfeld, do you never talk to your girlfriend? Do you have no idea? And then a joke I tried to work out forever is how much I loved that like women being embarrassed of sanitary products turned them all into close magicians. Like just in high school, every like girl had to be like, is this your tampon? Like just sort of like, you know, the like secretly.
No, it'd be like, are you packing?
Yes.
Which does not mean a handgun. The amount of times that you have to, like, I had to make a thing of tissue, and you know, it's crazy that it's not free.
Yeah,
it's crazy that there isn't some program that I think if you go to places, I don't know. I don't even know what people do that can't afford it because it's fucking expensive.
Yeah,
and when I run for president. There is going to be free sanitary napkins everywhere. There'd be times where if you didn't have a quarter to put it in the machine, too fucking bad.
Heather, I just want to say, if in the next election,
that I'm running,
like, no. I'm saying, like, ladies and gay guys who watch too much reality television are suddenly the demo to go after, and you are the next call me daddy, like who has to, interview the presidential candidates.
Right.
I will be very excited, but I will call her and say, you have to ask a hard-hitting question if you have them on. You have to ask one hard-hitting question if you have them on.
I'll just have big cards and I'll be like, so you were a Girl Scout. And you sold the least amount of cookies. Tell me a little bit about that. I'm dead. I'm in awe. Wait, stop. You only sold 3 boxes? What made you keep going in the 5th grade? See, is that a good enough hard-hitting question?
No.
Oh. Listen, we're going to tell everybody where they can find Guy Branum's live show. Say it again. You said it before. Say it again.
So yeah, I'm doing Be Fruitful. When does this come out?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Thursday.
So on Sunday, December 14th, I'm doing it in LA at the Lyric Hyperion. And then I'm doing it Philly Mocha on December 17th at Union Stage in DC on December 18th. And then December 19th, second show because I sold out my first show at Union Hall in Brooklyn. So come to my show. It's very, very funny and all the emotions.
So funny, so smart, and just a good time. And a loving person.
Thanks so much. Oh, and please follow me on Instagram. I'm at Guy Branum, and TikTok at Guy Branum Comedy. So you can see what the old gays remember that Heather hasn't watched yet. But Heather, like, you are the inspiration for it in so many ways.
I did see that you hit 100,000 followers. And that's because when you found out maybe I should put a little more effort into this thing called Instagram.
Yes.
You took off.
Yep.
That's what I like about you. You set your sights on something, and very, very funny content. Please follow Guy Branum. Of course, for me, HeatherMcDonald.net. Thank you for my Patreon and everything else. Happy Merry Christmas. Bye.